Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to review a game called PlanetZoo. Now, I wanted to start off this review with the first problem that I find with the game. The game is infected with the Denuvo virus, and this virus very often causes legitimate players, absolutely legitimate players, you can see the game is in my library, to not be able to play the actual game. So you can see I have the game in my library, I have the trading cards for the game, I have 25 hours in the game, all of that kind of stuff, and yet every time that I try to run the game, I am met with this error, which basically says that the game cannot communicate with the Denuvo servers. So I have to go through a whole fucking authentication process in order to get a token sent to my PC so that I can actually play the game that I actually have in my library. I'm an actual legitimate owner of the game, and yet I cannot play the game. This is the problem with not only restrictive DRM, but any DRM. Any kind of DRM can screw over legitimate players. In fact, it only screws over legitimate players, since the fallacy that if your game is protected by DRM, that you are gaining players or not losing players, meaning that your game will not be pirated and thus you will not be losing sales, that is an absolutely disproved fallacy. That fallacy has been disproved multiple times over the years. It is simply untrue that if you protect your game with DRM, that you will get more sales on your game. That is an absolute lie. And here I am a legitimate player of the game, a legitimate owner of the game, and I am being screwed over with being unable to play the game. And I am absolutely connected to the internet. You can see here right now I'm busy downloading a game at 600 kilobytes per second. So I am absolutely a legitimate player. I'm connected to the internet. There's nothing wrong with my internet connection at all. Yet each time that I run the game, I get met with this thing. I will close it and I will run it again so that you guys can see. Here I will click play once again, and you will see I am completely unable to play the game that I actually own. So this Denuvo virus is screwing over legitimate players of the game. So you need to take that into consideration when thinking of spending your money on not only this game, but any game that is infected with the Denuvo virus, or any game with any kind of DRM. Now, we obviously know that Denuvo affects performance. It hampers performance. That has been proven multiple times over the years. You can simply do a search for Denuvo comparison videos, and it is multiple times proven already that Denuvo alters the performance and hampers, severely hampers in many cases, the performance of games. So not only does it stop legitimate owners of the game from being able to play the game, it also gives legitimate players a 100% worse experience than pirates, since all games get cracked. PlanetZoo is cracked already. It is a cracked game. And if you play the cracked version of any Denuvo game, you are literally getting a better experience than someone like I am, who is a legitimate owner of the game, since I will be suffering worse performance than someone who is a pirate who has pirated the game. And that's not the fault of the pirates. That's the fault of the developers of the game, and that's the fault of the distributors of the Denuvo virus, who are Erdetto. So I just want to tell you guys straight from the start, this is my normal review. I don't talk shit, I show you guys the proof. And here I am a legitimate player of the game, legitimate owner of the game, and I am getting screwed over by the DRM, not only with worse performance, but I can't even fucking play the game. So I will quickly go through the whole process that I said at the beginning, where I have to request a token. Token has to be sent to my PC in order for me to simply be able to log in and get past the fucking Denuvo virus server. So I will be right back with you guys. For you guys, it will seem like a second, but I'm going to spend a couple of minutes trying to sort this thing out. So here we go. I am finally in the game and able to play. Now, apart from obviously the issue that I already said with the performance issues that come from the Denuvo virus that the developers have chosen to include in the game, and the fact that you often can't play the game as a legitimate owner of the game. Is the game playable otherwise? Yeah, sure, it is totally playable, you know. Once you get past the Denuvo virus not wanting you to actually play the game, then the game is actually quite playable. Like I say, on the Steam version that I have right now, I actually have the game on another account as well, but I have the game on this account, and on this account I have 25 hours played already. I will show you guys when I exit a little bit later what campaigns I have unlocked and all of that so far. But I'm on the 4th campaign right now for this game. And I guess I should do my intro as always. So this is PlanetZoo. The game costs $45 on Steam for the regular version, the base version of the game, and then there are 6 DLCs in the game, each of which cost an additional $10. So for the entire game, you are going to be looking at $105 at the base sale price of the game. That's not taking into consideration any discounts or anything like that that you might be able to get, but the entire game with all of the DLCs costs $105. So that is pretty rough, to be honest. $105, that's quite a lot to be shelling out for a game. Now, obviously the base game is totally playable, but with the expansions, you actually get a bunch of different stuff included, obviously. So if you go here to the content packs, I have all of the content packs. So there's the Africa pack that adds a bunch of different animals. I can't really say offhand what they are, but each one of the different packs adds between 2 and 4 animals. So you're really basically paying $10 at the end of the day for 2 or 3 or 4 animals being added to your game. So the Africa pack adds 2 or 4, Aquatic pack I think adds 4, Arctic pack I think adds 2 or 3, something like that, Australia pack, South America pack, and Southeast Asia pack. I think the Southeast Asia pack adds the giant panda or something like that, and maybe another animal. I'm not too certain, but you get the general idea. There's a bunch of different animals, and the different animals, like the meerkat, is recently added in the Africa pack. That's part of why I'm doing the video, to show you guys the newest content with the Africa pack and all of that. So you pay $10 in order to get the meerkat, and I'm not really sure what else is added, but you get the general idea. Now, in my opinion, $10 is a little bit rough. You simply have 2 or 3 or 4 animals added to your game. I mean, the base game has plenty of animals. Like, I'm not sure, but the base game has like 50 animals at least, you know. So, and it was $45, which is pretty much a AAA price for a game, you know, $45. So yes, the base game is totally playable. You will definitely be able to play the game, but you will be missing out on the additional animals. I mean, the meerkat is a fucking awesome animal, you know. The meerkat is iconic. They're just so cute, you know. So it would really suck missing out on the meerkat and stuff like that, you know. So it's a little bit irritating that there are certain animals locked behind certain DLC, and to get all of the animals that are currently in the game, it costs $60 on top of the $45, which is rough. Yeah, that's really, really rough. But yeah, that is the quote-unquote monetization structure of the game. You know, you can play the base game $45, and you unlock all of the additional animals. It's an additional $60. So this is my zoo right now. I want to look where is the challenges for the zoo. Okay, so that's all of the normal challenges, but I don't believe that is my actual mission. Let me have a look here quickly to see where my actual mission is, because I haven't played the game in a little while, so I actually forgot a couple of things. Let me just have a look here to see what my actual objectives is for this map. So I actually just realized that this is a challenge map that I was doing. So this isn't actually part of the career, this is a challenge map. So challenge maps basically is like a sandbox mode, and you just basically do a bunch of these zoo challenges here at the side. So release any 3 animals into the wild, increase education rating to a certain point, and breed a new animal, stuff like that, you know. So it's basically sandbox. You start out with little money, and then you basically have to build a successful zoo with no real point to the game, I guess you could say. You just basically can have fun and build whatever you want, you know. But it's not like cheating, you know. You start with a very small amount of money, and you have to build up your map and your zoo. And as you can see, the zoo size, if we actually go into building, how can I show you guys the map, how big the map actually is, like where the boundaries is. Let's have a look here, something like this. Okay, so there, so all the way over there is the limit of the map, and then here is the limit of the map, and then way over there is the limit of the map. So you can pretty much see this is a gigantic map. I mean, just imagine you're going to build to all the way over there, all the way over there, you know. And I already have not a bad zoo, you know. You can actually check, I have 707 guests already, you know, and my income is steadily climbing and all of that kind of stuff. I have a bunch of animals in here. You can actually see a bunch of them here. They're all bunched up now for some reason, but I have a bunch of lemurs, baby lemurs and big lemurs. I have some, what are these? It's different type of lemur, a red ruffed lemur. Then I have some Galapagos tortoises and some Aldabra giant tortoises, stuff like that. I also have some of these tapirs, red tapirs. And then I also have a couple of snakes over here. The snakes are actually quite a crowd pleaser. So I have two snakes in here. You can see they're male, female. And I have two snakes in here, eastern brown snakes, male, female. These are boa constrictors over here, and these are eastern brown snakes. So you can either have a large open enclosure, like I have built over here, with a bunch of places where they can run up and hide from the crowd, since it's actually quite important. Some animals don't like being too exposed, so they don't constantly like being watched by crowds. It causes stress for them and stuff like that, so you have to give them enough cover. So that is why I built the shelter here, so that it's a little bit open but mostly closed off, and the monkeys can run up here and play up here. The building system is relatively robust. It's a little bit finicky sometimes, especially with building this thing. It was really finicky because it's not too easy to pitch stuff at a certain angle and to make them connect to the other platform, so that the animal can actually run up there and then run down another place. It's a little bit finicky, but you can totally do it. It just takes a little bit of trial and error to get all of the stuff connected the way that they should be, and to make it actually usable by your animals. So you can have a large open area like this. It needs to be like it has certain requirements. All of your animals have certain requirements, and your area needs to fulfill all of those requirements. So we click on the lemur. They are happy with their habitat, the cleanliness, temperature, terrain, plants, and shelter. They are totally happy. So this shelter is really basically the best shelter that they can possibly have, or that they want. We can look at the other lemur, the other type of lemur. They're also 100% happy with the shelter. You can look at the tortoise. Cleanliness, temperature, plants, and shelter is 100%, but the terrain, I can improve a little bit on the terrain perhaps. And we can actually have a look, I believe, if we go to environments and then coverage. So they want a little bit more coverage. So tortoises need a lot of coverage like this. But the problem is, if you put too much coverage, especially a high coverage, like massive trees and stuff, then your people will start to complain that they can't see the animals. So it's a really big balancing act when it comes to keeping your animals happy and keeping the crowds entertained, that they can actually see the animals. But overall, all of my animals are extremely happy. They are all well cared for and all of that kind of stuff. Some animals also have social requirements, meaning that they shouldn't be too bunched up. You can't put too many animals in an enclosure, since they will start to feel stressed and overcrowded. You can't also put too little, because then they will start to feel lonely. So once again, it's a pretty big balancing act. So the devs have certainly done a good job with putting in various different mechanics, from the shelter to the coverage to their sleeping arrangement. It needs to be covered, the sleeping stuff, since most animals don't like sleeping in the rain and weather. There's also harsh weather. Sometimes the temperature goes up, goes down, all of that different kind of stuff. Some of them want certain trees. Some of them don't want any trees. Some of them want water, like open water. Fortunately, none of these, and I made sure of that, none of these require open water. But stuff like elephants want a large open water source, stuff like that. So I won't go and put an elephant in here because it won't be happy. And if I put a bunch of water in here, it will make the elephant happy, but it will make all of my other species unhappy. So you also need to consider what animals you mix together. Obviously, if you put a wolf or a lion or a cougar or something like that in here, it's going to be bad news bears, because the carnivore is going to eat up all of your other little animals. So you really need to be careful, especially when it comes to carnivores, which carnivores you mix, since some carnivores will eat other carnivores, and obviously most carnivores will eat your herbivores or omnivores. So I think you can get away with putting a rhino in a cougar cage, for instance, but a rhino in a lion enclosure isn't such a good idea. So you get the general idea. You get large open enclosures like these that you can do, and then you also get small exhibits like these. And you can really fill the exhibits with basically anything that you want. So let's have a look here quickly. I believe it is under facilities. And then, like I said, I haven't played the game in a while, so I actually forgot a lot of the stuff. So here, small exhibit, and I believe you have to build it before you can actually fill it with something. Yes. So let's have a look if we can maybe check out this here and see. Oh, actually, we can go to animal trading, I believe, and then we can go to. Let me just have a look here. Somewhere around here, you can actually choose which animal you want. Okay, now I believe all of these are open animals, basically, that you have to put in an enclosure, so yeah, I think you need to actually build a exhibit in order to see what animals you want in exhibit. But I mean, we can do that. We can totally do that. I have enough money, so let's go ahead and actually build another double exhibit. So let me just see here. That's the small exhibit. That's a double exhibit. Wow, it actually costs quite a lot. I might want to just get a little bit more money, since it costs 7,000 for a double exhibit like this, and I only have 13,000 right now. Actually, what I want to do is I want to get another water pump in here, water treatment. I put it over here, since as you can see there, my water doesn't quite reach everywhere. So even if I put it in here, it's not going to reach everywhere. That might be a slight problem, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. Let's see. I think I can place it in here. I should be able to place it in here somehow. Showing as red right now. For some reason, I can place it over there, but not in here. Perhaps the dimensions are just slightly too small. I don't really see why I can't place it in here. I should definitely be able to do that. because I already have a generator in here. So that's a power generator over there. Another thing that you really have to consider when placing stuff is the fact that that your machinery generates noise, and crowds do not like noise. So you can actually go to the heat map, and then you can go here, around here somewhere is negative impact on guests. There we go. So you can see that this generator over here is generating a negative impact noise pollution on your guests. So any kind of negative impact will make your guests temporarily unhappy. They also don't want to see facility buildings all that much. That is why I have put a wall obscuring the view of any guests. So that's also quite important. You don't want to put the entire place full of facilities like this facility building. If I simply put it here, then any guests that walk past will get negatively impacted by it. So it's really quite important to take all of these things into consideration when building your zoo. Like in most building games, like whatever, Age of Empires, City Skylines, Anno, Settlers, any kind of building games like that, you can basically just go balls to the wall, build whatever you want, wherever you want, you know? Except in City Skylines, there's stuff like pollution and stuff like that. But usually it's not as complicated as this, you know, where you have to make sure that none of your citizens see certain buildings, and you need to put your, for instance, generators away from foot traffic and stuff like that, you know. So the game is quite complicated when it comes to stuff like that, but once you get the general practices, I guess you could say, of what makes your guests happy and unhappy under your belt, then it really shouldn't be too much of a problem, you know. So that's certainly one thing that I do like about the game. The fact that the game isn't, I would almost say, super casual friendly. You actually need to think ahead of what you're doing, not just simply put shit all over the place. You know, you actually need to think about what you're doing. All of these stuff here are shops, by the way. You get different shops. So this shop sells drink stuff. This one sells burgers. What does this one do? This one sells balloons. This one is information center. This one sells mementos, hats, more mementos, more burgers, and more drinks. For some reason, the guest happiness over here is a little bit low, but I believe I only just built these ones over here when I ended my playing session previously. And like I say, I haven't played on this map for months, so I actually forgot what I was doing on this map. But I mean, it's not rocket science. You just basically have to look at the needs of your guests, look at the needs of your animals, and keep everything in line. You know, it's not really that difficult. So I need a vendor in here, but I believe I have enough vendors already. Let me just quickly have a look here. I believe you go to zoo, and then you go to staff, and then you can see which vendors are where. So serving, waiting for customers. Who are you? Please show me where you are. How do you do that? No. So it's that one over there. So she's waiting for customers. So her shop isn't super good right now, but it's an information center, so we can kind of understand that. Where's this one? This one doesn't have any customers right now, but the shop is selling stuff. We can see there 23 customers so far, so it's not a super popular shop, but that's no problem really. They will eventually get to there. And then serving customers, resting. So I probably need to buy or to hire one more vendor simply to fill in, because some of the vendors do rest, like this one is resting right now. So some of the vendors do rest, so let's get one more vendor and then we will put them in there. I believe they will automatically start working. I believe so. Let's have a look. Yeah, so they immediately go to where they need to go, so that's good. And obviously the aim of the game is like any other kind of a city builder game. You need to balance the books, so you get revenue from selling merchandise and food and stuff like that, but also from the people simply entering your zoo. So you need to also change the ticket prices of your zoo. I believe you can do that around here somewhere. You can look at the finances here and you can change the ticket price for your zoo over here. You can change the visiting times, all of that different kind of stuff. So it's really quite detailed. You can really go into quite a lot of detail. You can have a look at all of the bunch of different graphs. Guest education is important, animal rating, marketing, conservation rating, zoo reputation, and guest happiness, all that kind of stuff. Crime is also quite important. People can actually steal stuff and rob people, which will bring down your zoo rating. And then you also can look at the different needs of your quote-unquote customers in your zoo. So thirst is currently quite a high requirement or a high need, but that will go up. Since I believe this place, okay, that place isn't the drink place, but you will see it goes up slightly because I just built these places over here. So that will go up. So right now, my money seems to be going up, down, up, down. We can see that this year, I believe we can have a look at a more recent graph, like for the past month or something like that. We should be able to do that, but in any way, you can see my money going up more or less. We were at 13,300. Now we are already at 13,800. So your money does go up, down, but as long as it more or less goes up at a constant rate in between the up, down, then that's absolutely fine. You can see that your zoo is basically doing good, you know. See here, one of my stuff is overlapping. Yeah, overlapping is not good generally, so we need to do something about that. So you get speakers, these speakers over here. That is part of the education system. So you need to educate your customers, since education rating adds to the happiness rating of your zoo. So we're going to turn down the range just slightly. They do not like it when speakers overlap. So these speakers overlapping here, you can see the red people, their happiness will go down as long as the speakers are overlapping. So you need to make sure that none of your speakers are overlapping. The overlapping in places like this is absolutely fine, since no people are going to walk in there, but they are going to walk along here. So none of the speakers should overlap in this area over here. So this speaker over here is also overlapping slightly. So let's turn down the speaker by 1. That should stop this overlapping happening over here. That should be much better, I think. Yeah, that should be good. I wonder how much these speakers cost. How much do they? Oh, $10. So even the speakers have a maintenance cost, you know, per period, whatever, per week, per month, whatever. It costs me $10 in power. So you can't simply put all speakers all over the fucking place, you know. That will be good for your education rating, but you will pay out of your ass for power. So that will not be good. So my research is going on. The game also has a research system whereby you research caring for your animals better, and you can also research different new shops and staff facilities and stuff like that. So I'm currently researching staff facilities and food shops. So if we actually click on it, we can see what will be unlocked. So I now, how do I see what I unlocked? Okay, so I unlocked Messy Good, which is a new food shop place. If we go back and go to staff facilities, I also unlocked a large quarantine, which is good. And the next thing that I will unlock is the large research center. So you also need to hire mechanics in order to research new places, new buildings, new habitats, stuff like that. Also, like I said at the beginning, you get the DLCs for $10 each. And if you do have the DLCs, then you can do research into the DLC specific buildings. So you will not have these options like Australia theme items, Africa theme items, Arctic theme items. You will not have these options if you don't own all of the DLCs or the various different DLCs. So in addition to getting 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever animals for $10, you also unlock different items, different facilities and stuff like that. But honestly, it's very little. It's really very little stuff. It adds very little to the game. And like I said, the base game for $45 is absolutely playable. So really, you would only ever consider spending that additional $60 on DLC if you either really love the game or you simply have too much money. Now, for me, it's a little bit of both. I really don't have a problem with giving the devs $60 extra. And I do enjoy the game, you know, it's a cool game. Like I say, I have 25 hours on this account. On another account, I have about 80 hours on the game. So I have gotten my money's worth out of the game, to be honest. So it's no real big issue for me. When a new DLC comes out, I buy the DLC, I play the game for 10 hours or so, and then I put the game down again. I move over to another game again. That's basically how it works for me, you know. So, yeah. Let's have a look. I unlocked something else here. Okay, so my education rating has gone past 3.0. So I unlocked another challenge there, and I got some money from the challenge. I also need to release three animals into a habitat, or out of my habitat into the wild. I will do that when my animals get old. I usually release old animals. You can also sell the animals. I believe you go here to animal trading, and then you have to put one of your animals into storage. So you click on it and you say send animal to storage, and then you come here to animal storage and you can sell your animals. So it's very similar to Jurassic World Evolution. By the way, Jurassic World Evolution was also created by these same devs, Frontier Developments. I actually quite like Jurassic World Evolution. I finished the game, so I really quite like that game. So that game, you can also sell dinosaurs. So in this game, you can also sell your animals, and obviously, both of the games being developed by the same developer, that would make sense that there are quite a few similarities between the games, and there certainly are quite a few similarities between the two different games. So I actually called my keeper to come add food here, but it doesn't seem like they actually did. Now I want to see my keeper actually coming over here and adding the food, because this feeding trowel or whatever it is over here has been empty for quite a while, to be honest. So I want him to add the food so that my my animals will be happy. So he's gonna run around and add food everywhere. Okay, so what was it that I wanted to do? Okay, so you can see my money going up steadily. That's very good. So I just want to sort out my water over here. So let's go to facilities. Let's pause. Obviously, you can pause the game or you can play the game at 3 times speed. That's relatively standard with most building games, where you can control the flow of time. That's quite important. So I can't fit it in here for some reason. I think I have to remove these walls, or at least move the walls. Then I can place the facility and then put the walls back. I would like to see the game actually tell me what the problem is. You know, I mean, it's not telling me anything. It's not saying to me that it's colliding. You know, it should show you, instead of just making the entire thing red, it should at least show you, like, there you're bumping into the road, and over here you're bumping into the wall, you know, that kind of stuff. But it doesn't show anything like that. It literally just makes the entire thing red, and then if you go over here, it makes it blue. So it's not telling me at all what the problem actually is. You know, it's just like basically putting me in the dark, you know, and I don't like that. I would like the game to actually give me more information about what the actual issue is why I can't place this thing over here, you know? So let's see if I can move this wall. I believe you can move this wall. Edit barrier. Can I just literally move it? Let's see. Maybe here at the side. I don't see a move option anywhere. By the way, some animals can actually jump over walls, so you can literally increase the height of your walls. Like these, for instance, there are some monkeys and stuff that will literally jump over these walls. So sometimes you will have to make the walls higher so that they can't do that. You can also get specific walls that have anti-climbing stuff on them. You like an anti-climbing barrier at the top that stops the animals from climbing your walls. So that's actually quite interesting. Some animals will also break your walls, but for the majority of the time, animals will try to climb over your walls, and you have to make sure that they are the appropriate length for that animal. So let me see here, what does this do? Yeah, that actually doesn't do anything. What does this do? Nope. I literally just want to move the wall. That will raise or lower the wall. I don't want to do that. I simply want to move the wall. I don't believe that that is possible. Oh, wait, here. Can I move it? Oh, okay, so yes, I can move it like this. Maybe that will work. Maybe now the thing will fit in. Let's have a look. Let's go to facilities, water treatment. Yes, now it fits in nicely. So it turns out that wall was just slightly too close. And now it's showing red once again. Well, I want to put it as close to there as possible so that it can reach way over there. I believe this water treatment thing also has a noise limit or a noise, like it actually generates noise, I believe. Negative area. Yes, 8 meters to 15 meters. Let me just see here. Yeah, I believe it does have a negative rating. Let's see. Negative impact, yes. So it does generate not a considerable amount of negative impact. Not as much negative impact as this thing does, but it does generate some negative impact. So we will try to put it over here. It's not allowing me to put it over here at all for some reason. Like, it won't allow me to go close to the wall at all, which is a little bit irritating. So I can place it over there, then over to that side. Yeah, that's the maximum amount that it allows me to go over to the side. But that should be fine, just like that. Perhaps I can move the wall a little bit, because I really want to get it a little bit closer up there. Let me have a look here. Maybe I can move this as well. Just move it down a little bit. What does this do? Reduce the negative area. Let's see if we can just move this a little bit. What's the operating area? I believe this thing also generates power in a certain range, effective range. So let's have a look. Power. Yes, so it throws a circle like that. So the positioning for it is currently quite important, to be honest. But I can maybe change the road slightly, but I mean, it's not so bad, I don't think. That little bit of negative impact that it's going to have there is a very, very small amount of negative impact, to be honest. Really so small, I shouldn't even worry about it. So I'm going to place this over here. That should be fine. And water temperature regulator. I'm not too certain what this actually does. I don't have a single water temperature regulator as of yet, to be honest. I'm not really sure what's the use of it. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I don't really know what it does. I mean, let's have a look. Water taking average temperature. Water temperature. I don't know. I'm assuming perhaps the water temperature regulator is needed in very cold temperatures or something like that, but to be honest, I'm not in very cold temperatures right now, you know. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, to be honest. I think I'm just going to ignore it until I get something like a warning or something like that, you know, telling me that my water is freezing or the water is too hot or something like that, and then I will consider building a water temperature regulator. But until that time, I'm not really gonna bother with it. I also want to see if I can't make my barrier maybe a little bit higher. Perhaps that will help a little bit with the noise. And let's have a look here. Opaque. I don't believe any of these will actually help against sound. I don't believe so. Let me just have a look here. Yeah, I don't believe that any of them helps with sound, like actually stopping sound, for instance. But let's make it a little bit higher, perhaps. Just a little bit higher, let's say 3.8 meters. Just like that. And perhaps that will help a little bit. I'm not really too certain. And then I want to see if I can't move this pillar over here just slightly. Let's have a look. Just want to move it just inward slightly. Oh no, that's not what I want. No, I just want to move this side. Ah, there we go. Yeah, just like that. That's good. Another thing that I would like is them to actually tell you how much money it's going to cost before popping something down. Because like just now, I moved this, but if you look there, it doesn't tell you how much money it's going to take, you know? So that's one thing that I also would like to see the devs implement, even though they're probably not going to do it since the game has been out for like years and it's not implemented yet. So it's probably never going to happen. But still, that would be a nice little quality of life feature. Let's then place a double, one of those double things. What's this actually? Oh, so that's four. That's four exhibits. This is two exhibits. So let's place two exhibits. Let's rotate it. How do we rotate again? I actually forgot how to rotate. Can you believe that? You hold right click. Mouse button scroll doesn't do anything. Up, down, left, right, WASD doesn't do anything. Literally forgot how to rotate. Like, how the hell? It shouldn't be too difficult. Did that? No, that's undo. Can we rotate it over here? I honestly don't see where, like I'm trying everything. A mouse button, right click, no, that cancels. Holding left click, holding right click, holding the middle mouse button, scrolling the middle mouse button, pressing up, down, left, right, pressing WASD, pressing plus minus, pressing comma and point. Nope. Nothing works. I honestly don't know how to do it. Let me quickly check out the controls. Let's have a look if we can find the rotate. Controls, building edit, rotate, Z. Okay, Z. Okay, so let's have a look. That's a very strange button, but okay. So I already have two snakes over there. So, but this area here, to be honest, is the best area for me currently. I don't really want to place anything over here since this is kind of a dead area. You know, you can see there's not really any people walking over there. It's kind of a dead area. So, why not place it over here? I think that will be pretty good. So let's rotate it like that by pressing and holding Z. And then we can place it, even though if I place it right here, it's going to conflict with those speakers a little bit. So the speakers are going to be a slight issue. And I don't really want to do that. Perhaps I should place it over here. That's a little bit further away from the speakers. And I just think it will be better overall. If I can place something else over here, that would be good, since then I can just place it a little bit further. Oh, but I'm going to make a road around it like I did there. So that will actually be good. I can even place it here, perhaps. But there's a speaker over there. You see, you always need to take into consideration where your speakers are located. Since I'm going to have to put speakers on this building, so it's going to conflict with any other speakers in the area. Let's quickly have a look at the heat map and then education. So you see anything in these blue areas will be a conflict. And I don't want to do that, obviously. I could put it over here, perhaps, but that's pretty far away from the facilities, you know, all of the different stuff. I also need to actually, I think, build toilets. I can't even remember if the game has toilets. I believe the game would have toilets. I don't think I have toilets yet. I will have a look at that just in just a second. I can put it over here as well, right next to the other place over here. If I wanted to. or I can place it over here. That won't be too bad, you know, right over here. That should give me enough space to work with. Or I can place it over here, kind of. I think here will be pretty good. Yeah, just like this over here. Yeah, that should be good. Like that. Yeah, I believe that should be fine. I don't foresee any issues with placing it here. You always need to take into consideration even the roads. Like you need to remember that you are going to build or take a little bit of the road up, like this road here. People are going to stand here, and that's going to cause some congestion in your road. But fortunately, when I started my zoo, I built the biggest road that you can possibly build. Like I built a massive road right down here and another massive road right down here. I actually spent quite a lot of money at the beginning simply on roads, since these are the most expensive roads that you can possibly get. So that just really makes it so that later on in the game, you don't have any congestion, even though you can see here I have the biggest road possible in the game, and already this whole line is being taken up, and there's lines of people standing here. So really the foot traffic in this area is just a small area. It's like this amount of foot traffic that is really available. The rest is taken up there and there. So that's the kind of stuff that you need to take into consideration. Maybe next time I will build these facilities just a little bit away from the walkway, so that they can have a little bit of a queue length, you know, so that they don't take up the highway, I guess you could say, that I built there. Let me see, are there toilets? Yes, they actually are toilets. Do I have any toilets right now? I don't believe I have any toilets at all. I have toilets over here. Nope, these are my staff facilities, I believe. Yeah, I don't have any. Oh, there's toilets. Okay. I do actually have toilets. Let me have a look. Do I need more toilets, perhaps? Let's have a look at the thing, happiness, toilet. Okay, well, my people are relatively happy with toilets. I could place another one here, since this is a very high congestion area. I could do that. How much does the toilet actually cost? Facilities, toilet. So this one was a small toilet. What would be the benefit of actually building a bigger toilet? I don't think you need a bigger toilet, to be honest. A small toilet is absolutely fine. In fact, a bigger toilet actually costs considerably more, and it's not like a really, I mean, it's double or at least quadruple, but this is double. So why does it cost, like, by my estimation, about $100 more? I didn't really get that, but okay. Let's build another toilet over here. Just like that should be good. I'm getting a little bit low on money, but as we've seen, my money steadily goes up. I don't really have any issues with money. My money will go up again. Can I actually see the usage or anything? Any kind of information about this toilet? It doesn't really show me usage, the statistics or nothing like that on the toilets. That's pretty weak since it does show you. Oh, okay, there we go. You actually need to click on the inside of the toilet. Okay. I believe you can actually charge people money for the toilets to actually use the toilets. I don't really know if I want to do that. I mean, I could do it. Just charge a little bit of money, you know, small fee. I don't think that will be too bad, actually. Just like 20 cents. No, I don't think that will be too bad. 20 cents shouldn't create too much of a hubbub for my guests. So now I already have a boa constrictor exhibit and a eastern brown snake exhibit. I am busy researching. Where is that research thing? Let me just have a look around here somewhere. Research, vet research. I am busy researching more enhancements for the boa, so that will give me a education bonus for them. And then I'm also busy researching for the eastern brown snake, which will also give me an education bonus. So I really first want to research the animals before I put them into a exhibit. That simply allows me to make them more happy, to be honest. Since you actually need, if you go to the layout, you actually need to research them, research the actual animals in order to get more enrichment options for them. Okay, that research is done. Boa constrictor and my eastern brown snake, whatever one, will also be done pretty soon. So you can see now here I can actually place more enrichment stuff for my boa, simply making them more happy. So that's good. I think I can actually then stop and put my research over to something else. Breeding research. Will that actually allow them to breed? That will actually be pretty good, I think. Yeah, why not? Breeding research, I think that will be pretty good. Then they can actually breed. That's not too bad. Perhaps I would want to get more researchers on it, but the research places actually cost quite a lot. Like, I do have 2 research places over here. I believe this is a research place, yes. Then here's my 2 mechanic research places. And then I have a trade center over here, a keeper hut over here, and then 2 coffee places over here, or staff rooms. So yeah, if I can get another research center, then I can have more people researching more stuff, obviously. Water treatment inaccessible. And how is it inaccessible? Can we do something about that? Do I need to place a road or what? Let's have a look. I'm not even sure what kind of a road this is. What kind of a road is it? Staff path, okay. Okay, let's put it like that. Obstructed. Why the hell is it obstructed? Come on, why can't it just work? You know, I mean, look at that. That looks fine. The thing curves like that and curves like that, you know? That should be fine, but for some reason it's obstructed. So I can put it here, but I can't put it here. I mean, that's idiotic. So now I have to move the thing. I don't want it to snap. Don't snap. How do I make it so that it doesn't snap? How do I turn snapping off? Oh, exit. Okay. So how do you want it? Do you want it like that then? Will that be better? And then can I place it now? There we go. Okay, so are you happy now? Are you accessible fucking now? Thank you for wasting 3 minutes of my life. Okay, so it should be fine now. For some reason it wasn't accessible previously. I don't understand it, but okay. Okay, vet research. Okay, eastern brown snake, that's good. So we can also continue the eastern brown snake research so that they can also get into the breeding program. And then after that, I will choose a different animal to put in here. You need a quarantine. Okay, well, yeah, I probably will need to build a quarantine then. Well, that one should be resolved now. Claim rewards, that's good. So if we have a look here, we can actually see what different kinds of stuff we can put in here. Request exhibit animal. Reset all filters. So here you can see the different animals that you can put into exhibits. Like I said, you can't put a snake in there. You can only put a snake in the exhibits. So the small little exhibit shelters like that, that's the only place that you can put them in. So if we go to here, then we can see boa constrictors I already have, spiders, Brazilian, if I can change this perhaps, Brazilian salmon, pink tarantula, Brazilian wandering spider. We actually have wandering spiders here in South Africa. Common death adder, diamondback terrapin, you know, you get a bunch of different stuff. Eastern blue-tongued lizard, eastern brown snake, I already have one of those. Giant burrowing cockroach, giant desert hairy scorpion, giant forest scorpion, giant Malaysian leaf insect, giant tiger land snail. So you get a bunch of different stuff that you can put into these exhibits. For the most part, they're not too expensive. They're much cheaper than some of the other animals, actually. So let's see the appeal. Let's rank them according to appeal. Then we can see for which ones we will get the most appeal, since every animal that you have has an appeal rating. So if we go look here at zoo, at animals, then you can see the appeal rating of the different animals. So my Aldabra giant tortoises are at 2,700 rating, which is quite a lot. And then for my braid tapir, it's only 1,100. my snakes 2,500, you know, stuff like that. So different animals give different appeal ratings. So the appeal rating is quite important when choosing an animal. Obviously, you can't just have a shitload of lions. You know, like for instance, if I had this enclosure and I filled it with lions, it wouldn't get as much appeal score as having a bunch of different animals in there, since guests get boring of seeing too many of the same type of animal, you know? So it's very important to have different types of animals and not have just the same type of animal over and over, you know? Let's have a look here what kind of a road this was. Gold path, okay. So let's take gold path and I'm gonna surround this place. Now I believe that's fine if I do that. And then I take it from here to there. Okay, well, apparently not. Okay, yeah, there we go. Like that. Like that. Okay, no, I can't do that. Let's exit. Undo. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain in the ass having to deal with the roads. And as we saw there with the water treatment place as well, the roads can sometimes be a little bit finicky, you know? A little bit fucking irritating. Undo, undo. Come on, I just want to get a road to there. I don't see what's so fucking difficult. Okay, that's acceptable. And then from here to there, nope. Doesn't want to go. Undo, undo. Come on. Don't see why this is so fucking difficult. Oh no. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh no, cancel. I fucking pressed right click. Why did it go? Fucking irritating. Cancel. No! Fuck's sake. Can you go over there? Or not? Let's undo, undo. This is so fucking irritating. That's another thing that this game can really do with, like, simply having better road management. The roads are, like we saw over here, the roads sometimes make zero fucking sense. All I want to do here is connect this road to that road, but it's not allowing me to do it. And over there also, the road gave me some fucking trouble, you know? It's just irritating. So, okay, let's close that one. I mean, look how stupid this is going to look. And that's semi-acceptable. That's kind of acceptable. Okay, it looks dumb, but that's kind of acceptable. Um, so yeah, now I can put stuff in there if I want to. Um, let's just have a look. I believe a new thing. That's done. That one is done with. Well, I want to dismiss that one. That's fine. What do I need around this thing? So those boxes are going to be customized. I need donation boxes, recycling bins, and I also need an ATM, I believe. So let's go to, I believe it's facilities. And then donation box, that's quite important. You can put one over there. Put one over there. Cycling bins, always important. You don't want trash lying all over the place. And then ATMs. Go ATM. There is an ATM over there, but you don't really want your people like looking for an ATM. You know, they should have an ATM at hand at all times. So it's pretty important to have an ATM every couple of meters, basically. Like I have an ATM here and an ATM there, and I should have another one around here somewhere. Are you telling me I don't have an ATM in this area? Okay, there I have an ATM. So it's a little bit far away, but not too far away. But I think I can spare putting an ATM over here. Why not? Another ATM there, that should be fine. But it's really starting to rain now. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the microphone. You shouldn't be able to hear it since my noise suppression is pretty good, but it's really quite loud. Okay, what's this over here? We got a new challenge. Adopt and place 2 different habitats. So that's fine. We're going to do that when we do this one. So that is going to be pretty easy, to be honest. So let's have a look then. What kind of animals do I want to put in here? So lesser Antillean iguana, 2,600. That's pretty high, but I want to get another one as well. Okay, so that's good. That's a female. This is a male. So I can take both of these and keep them in here. So that will actually work out pretty good. So let's purchase that one. Oh, fertility. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Fertility and longevity is quite important. This one is amazing. That one is really, really good. 50% and 100%. Even though longevity is a little bit more important. Let's see later. So that one is pretty poor. This one is pretty good. So I can actually take these two then. Unfortunately, they cost, what do you call it? These points, and these points are quite difficult to get, actually. So I would prefer not to spend those points if I could. Let's see if there's not some other more acceptable options. That's pretty bad. That's very bad. I want to get one that is more or less in the middle if I can. Like not too much skewed to one side, not too much skewed to another side. That one is almost acceptable. That one is almost acceptable. Green iguana, I might take that. Oh, that one is good. But it costs the green points. I want to get one that preferably doesn't cost the green points. That one is fantastic. So let's see here. Green iguana, are there any acceptable ones? Well, this one and this one are both acceptable, but this one is a female and that one is a female as well. So I actually want to get ones that are both acceptable, and one must be a male, one must be a female. Let's have a look at the diamondback, the western diamondback. That's good, that's bad. Let's have a look at the diamondback terrapin. That's pretty good. That's relatively good. But overall, not really that good. Gila monster, I can maybe take a couple of Gila monsters. That's not good. That's very good, and that's acceptable. But both of them are male, so overall it's not acceptable. So you see, it's really quite a balance. You need to find, like, it doesn't help that you spend whatever $500 whatever on an animal that has a very low longevity, since they're gonna die within a year or two. So you want to have an animal that's going to live for the maximum amount of time, but they must also be able to have babies. Since with every one of your animals that have babies, you're essentially getting $500 for free, since you don't need to buy another one of them. So it's just a repeating cycle of money that you can basically generate. And even if you get a baby and you don't want to keep the baby in the enclosure, you can simply sell it. So it's really quite important to get something that is fertile and has a good amount of longevity. If you have 100% fertility but 0% longevity, then it perhaps won't even live to be able to make a single baby. So that's something you need to take into consideration. Buff adders, these bastards, like, no jokes. In the past 5 years of living where I have lived, I've seen and killed about probably 7 buff adders. Like, I can't even tell you the stories that I have with buff adders. Buff adders where I live in South Africa are extremely prevalent, and they bite my dogs almost constantly. Like every year, I have had to make a trip to the vet for emergency injection of antivenom for my dogs. It's fucking crazy. The buff adders are all over the fucking place. But they're still very beautiful animals, you know. But unfortunately, if I have to choose between a puff adder dying or one of my dogs dying, you know, the choice is pretty obvious, obviously. Yellow anaconda, that one's very good. Let's have a look at the yellow anaconda. Well, these two are extremely good, but unfortunately, it's gonna cost me a lot of green points. But that's tempting. I might get the yellow anaconda, maybe. Let's have a look further down. I don't like the fact that it resets each time, pushing you back to the top. They should take you back to the point where you were instead of pushing you back to the top. Let's have a look. Common death adder. Common death adders don't look too bad. Let's do a search for desert scorpion. Both are male, that's not gonna work. All of those are male, that's not gonna work. Nope. Spider. That's not too bad. That's not too bad either. That's not good, not good. No, that one isn't too bad. Okay, maybe take this one. And then this one, for instance. Yeah, I can maybe do that. And they're pretty young still. You don't want the very old spiders, and the spiders don't live that long. Yeah, actually, spiders aren't such a good option since they're gonna be dead within like 3 years or something like that. You ideally want something that can live a long time, you know. So yeah, I don't think I want a spider at all. I want something that can live long, like a snake or something like that. So I'm probably gonna avoid the beetles. I'm gonna avoid the spiders. Snails live for a very long time. Frogs also. Frogs aren't too bad. Let's have a look at the frogs. Oh, that one is very good. And that one is not too bad, but the female isn't too good, but okay. I might take the frogs. Let's look at other frogs, Goliath frogs. That female sucks. Oh, this female isn't too bad. I can maybe take the frogs. I think a Goliath frog will be pretty good. Yeah, so I will take that one, definitely. And then I just need a good male. So that's a good female. That one is very good. Let's see. I don't really want this one since it costs points. I think let's take this female. Her fertility isn't that good, but her longevity is good enough so that they will probably be able to make a baby. And then this one is 66 plus 66, which isn't too bad. Yeah, so it's between this one or this one. I think let's go for the one with more longevity. Even though this one is younger, this one is a year younger. This one will actually be better since it's already a year and 2 months younger than that one. So the longevity doesn't really affect it that much. Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 Goliath frogs in the one side. And then let's have a look. Perhaps I will put another frog in the other side. Perhaps these. That's bad. That's good. Bad. not very good. So unfortunately the males are pretty poor there. So let's look for our final animal that we're going to put in. Snail. Maybe we can put in a snail. Are there any good snails? That's bad. That one is good. Then we just need a good male. Could maybe take this male. So we take this male with this female. I think that will actually be pretty good. So we are adding 2 giant tiger land snails and 2 whatever that other type of frog is that I got. And now we just basically wait until they arrive at our shipping center, whatever thing. And then we can place them in. Let's take Goliath frog into zoo. Is it already in zoo? How do I add request exhibit animal? Okay, request exhibit animal, and we take these 2. Okay, just like that. That's right. I believe so. Send to zoo. Drop them in there. And then we take this one, request exhibit animal, and we take the 2 snails, and we say send to zoo, and we pop them in there. Just like that. Now we have 2 more attractions. And some of these exhibits can really draw a big crowd. I mean, if you look over here, this area is constantly full of people. They really make a big amount of money, these exhibits. Let me see if I can see where the money is. Finances last year. That's the power cost. I don't know if I can see how much these actually make, but they do very well, to be honest. Improve that shelter a little bit. You also need to keep an eye on the temperature and that stuff, but they are very finicky, like literally between that small variance there, they are happy. And if it goes above or below it, they are unhappy and they can even die. So you really need to be careful with the temperature. But they are happy. They're 100% on welfare, nutrition, social health, and exhibit. And these guys as well, 100% on everything. So exhibit is honestly very easy to control. It's much easier to control than an open enclosure like this. But obviously the open enclosure, you can pop in a bunch of animals, whereas you can't pop in a bunch of animals in a place like this. So we are getting our animals. Let's just see here. Animal is not in its ideal temperature range. Okay. So let's have a look at the temperature range that they want. We need to set that from the get-go. Temperature needs to be lower. I believe that will be fine, and humidity is fine. Layout, I currently don't have any layout stuff researched. Let's have a look. I can close that window. Which window is it? Window 3, that's good. Okay. And then I think they will be fine. And then on this one, Also close window 3, window 1. Just like that. And then we need to set the climate as well. We need to lower the humidity to around there. 45% should be good. 48%. Temperature must be 23 to 36. Let's put it at a nice 27. Should be good. 28, that should be good. Yeah, that should all be good. Now I just need to research the enrichment stuff for them so that they can be a little bit happier. 26 to 32. Let's put it at 29. That should be good. Yeah, they should now be happy. I just really now need to research. Let's have a look at the research quickly. Get research. Boa constrictor. Okay, so my boa constrictor and eastern brown snake research is going to be done pretty soon. So that shouldn't really be a problem. I think the inspector is coming soon. Oh, he's already here. Okay. The inspector is something that happens every now and then. You can actually shut down your zoo if your zoo isn't maintained well and all of that shit. Okay, so this is a Goliath frog. So we need to put this as Goliath frog. And this over here as Goliath frog. And this over here as well. Goliath frog. This is giant tiger land snail. So this all helps with the education of your people. And then I also need to put speakers down. Educational speaker over here. Yeah, there should be fine. Like that and like that. Then this one will be Goliath frog, and this one will be tree snail, whatever. And then we need to have a look at the heat map to check the education range. This education range I can bump up to 6. Don't believe I will have problems. And then this one I can also bump up to 6. Don't believe I will have problems. Perhaps we should put on more speakers than just this. Now let's move this one to there. That perhaps. Yeah, like that. And then move this one. I think this one will be good. It won't overlap there. And it won't overlap there. It's overlapping slightly here, which will cause an issue. But it should be fine. Like that. I think that's fine. I don't see any overlapping coming from that. I think that should be fine. In fact, this one I should be able to bump up to 7. Oh no, now it's overlapping there. That's going to be an issue. Well, 6 is fine. So they get education from the speakers, and they also get education from the education board stuff. Let me put down a couple of benches. Benches are also pretty important. I believe I have enough benches. Oh well, yeah, here's a little bit lacking in benches. Okay, that should all be pretty good. I can also put in one of my new stores in, so that's all full all the way. I think here's one empty store that I can put in. What was that new store that I got? I forgot. I think you need to click on it. And then how do you put them in again? I think it was facilities. Then what was it? Food shop. I believe it's a food shop that I researched. Let's quickly have a look at my research. Okay, yes, I researched that, and then a new food shop. Excelente. Okay, so facilities, food shop. Yeah. Oh, no. How do I put it in there then? Put one of these, workshop, pizza den, multi soda, one of these around here. Excellent, there we go. There we go. That should be good. Vet research. Okay, boa constrictor is done, so now we can switch the boa constrictor research to the giant land, blah blah blah. How do I do that again? I forgot. How do I assign research? Oh, there we go. Giant land, blah blah blah. Can I assign one of these as well? I believe I can't because I only have one research laboratory right now. I don't believe that I can, since the research lab only takes 2 people, I believe. Let's have a look here. Why is it inefficient? I don't understand exactly. Why are you saying that it's inefficient? Like, it would be nice if they actually tell me what is causing the inefficiency. Like, why is it inefficient? because I don't exactly understand. Saying inefficient, but why? Doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest, but let's try to put another researcher on something. I don't think it will work. Let's have a look here. Goliath frog. Will it actually work? I don't think it will. Let's have a look. I think they need to go into the research facility before new progress will happen. Is that my researchers? Oh no, that's a security guard. Oh, the research is actually happening. I am... Oh no, but there's no research happening on that one. Facility is having a negative effect. Which one is that? Overlapping. Oh, okay. So there's some slight overlapping happening here. They're not happy about. Let's move that speaker slightly up to there, for instance. I think that should solve most of the problems. And then research is complete on the snake. I don't understand how there can be so many research things happening at once. I think the research is divided, so you're literally dividing the research when you research multiple projects. So if you research one thing, like you see there now, this research is going on, but that research is not going on. So they literally take turns to research different things, you know? And now there's no research going on at all. So yeah, I definitely need to create another research place. Now I think, oh no, not yet. I almost wanted to say that I think all of my research is done on this place, but it seems not yet. Let's see. Our facilities, that's fully researched. I guess I can do drink shops. Souvenir shops is also fully researched. Power, I can do power. And then barriers, I guess I can do as well. That issue is resolved, isn't it? Should be resolved. Okay, yeah, there they go in and then they go. So my money is going up pretty quickly. That's good. Let me just have a look here. I think this is now... not yet. Not yet. So yeah, they're busy with the research, but they haven't done it yet. As soon as they do, then I can make my habitat or my exhibit thing 90%, I believe. 90% satisfaction. Okay, so food shops is now also 100% researched. Can I put another one on here? Can I do that? Oh no, I can't. Okay, so what else do I want to research? Habitats, perhaps? Or drink shops? I guess I can do drink shops. That will help me get more money, obviously. And so a variety of different stuff is good. Where are they queuing? Oh yeah, at this place. Yeah, well, that's fine. I think that is why I didn't set it so that more than 2 people work on a specific thing at a given time. Who are you? You are Erwin. Okay, so let's get Erwin off there. Oh yeah, that's why I did that. Because one guy will wander around and work on maintaining the place. So you need a mechanic to maintain any broken structures and do routine inspections and all of that kind of stuff. And the vets, I believe, is the same. So you need one vet who is constantly walking around checking the stuff out, you know? So that's why I got that. I just forgot about it. Okay, let's put a few log things in there, and then for these guys as well. Now they have 80% happiness there and 80% happiness there. So that's great. So now I have happy frogs and happy snails, and that will make it so that they generate more income. So you can see already by placing these 2 new facilities here, or 2 new exhibits here, my part attendant has gone up. So that's pretty good. Won't find accessible research center. Yeah, I probably need to build another research center. The research center is just a little bit expensive. I think that's why I didn't build more than one. So this one can take how many? Like what, 4? I'm assuming 4. And this one can take 1. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just build one of these. Not necessary to build a 4 spaced place. Yeah, just like that should be fine. So now I have 2 resource places and 2 mechanic places. Okay, inspection report, cleanliness, very good. Education is a little bit bad, but overall it's not too bad. That's good. My the inspector didn't have too many problems. Okay, so once again there's a little bit of overlap here. We'll see those guys turning red for a slight second. So what I can do about that is move the speaker even more to the left, like that. And my money is going up very well. I'm happy about that. Overall, everything is going good. My research is going on. Everything is good. So you guys basically get the general idea by now. Let me just build a quarantine facility here before I forget. Quarantine because they've been asking for a quarantine facility for quite some time. I can build a big one if I really want to, but holy shit, look at that. I'm gonna take up the entire fucking area, so I don't really want to do that. I would rather build just a normal sized one. Yeah, just like that basically. What? Why don't you want to take it? What's the problem? Why can't I build it here now? Okay, let's try again. Terrain modification failed. Why? Terrain modification failed. What the hell is going on? It constantly says terrain modification failed. Okay, let's try to put it over here then perhaps, I don't know. Terrain modification failed. What the hell? Once again, they should fucking tell you like what's actually going on. Don't make the player have to fucking try to place a building 17 times simply because you can't be asked to fucking give the player the necessary information that they require, you know? A little bit stupid. Yes, I am aware that I need a quarantine. I'm trying to build the quarantine. You don't need to tell me about it once again. That again? Oh yeah, those. Well, that's a very small amount of negativity. That's not really much of an issue. To be honest, I just want to fucking place this quarantine thing and end the video, but holy balls, do you think I am able to place the fucking quarantine place? I mean, look at it, it's not bumping into anything. Look at that. It's clear on all sides, no problems. It's attached to the road. I click and then it says terrain modification failed. Like, why are there issues like this in the game after the game has already been released for more than a year? I mean, the devs should stop making DLC, $10 DLCs, and they should work a little bit on fixing their game, making their game better. Okay, that worked. For some reason that worked. Couldn't place it there facing this way, and I couldn't place it here facing that way. But I can place it here facing that way. I have no fucking idea what went on there. It didn't tell me anything. It just says terrain modification failed. But anyway, I now have a quarantine place. So hopefully they will stop badgering me about not having a quarantine. Since holy shit, they're constantly telling me they want a quarantine. See, can we put a bin over there? Then we can maybe put a bench over here, but I don't believe that my employees really sit down all that much, but still can still oblige them by putting down a little bit of that kind of stuff. So yeah guys, I think the game is pretty good. The developers, Frontier Developments, have been cranking out these types of games for quite a while. They started out with some of the older roller coaster tycoon games, then they made Zoo. What's this game's name? It's a Zoo Tycoon. PlanetZoo. I almost wanted to say Zoo Tycoon. PlanetZoo. They made Planet Coaster. Is their latest roller coaster sim game, which is exactly the same as this. You're simply managing a roller coaster park instead of a zoo. And they also have Jurassic World Evolution, which, like I said, is good. I like Jurassic World Evolution, but the Jurassic World Evolution suffers from the same problems as this game does, where they have $10 DLCs all over the fucking place. Like, just $10 DLCs everywhere you look. So that game as well costs like close to $100 simply to get all of the content in the game. Now, like I said, you can play this game. You can buy it $45 and you can play the game. You can get 20, 30, 40 hours of quote unquote enjoyment out of the game. That's no problem. But if you want all of the content in the game, it's gonna cost you $105. Now, if you're okay with that, then fine. You know, if you're okay with playing just the base game for $45, that's fine. Otherwise, you're gonna have to spend $105 in order to get the entire game. Is it worth $45? Yes, I think the game is worth $45. Apart from the game being infected with a Denuvo virus, which hampers your performance and often makes it so that you can't even play the game. Apart from that, I do believe that the game is worth $45. Is the game with all of the DLCs worth $105? No, definitely not. The DLCs add very little to the game, and I don't believe that they should be charging $10 per DLC. It's a little bit fucking ridiculous. So yeah. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my opinion. It's a good game with very expensive DLCs, unnecessarily expensive DLCs. So if you do like tycoon games and you like zoos and animals as a theme, then the game will certainly bring you a good amount of game time. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As always, if you head over to my Patreon and support me on Patreon, that would really be appreciated. It simply allows me to do more reviews for you guys and to purchase more games for you guys. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will be seeing you guys next time.